Good day, my dear students. For today's video, we're going to proceed with our next learning competency for general mathematics under the strengthened senior high school curriculum, which is solving problems involving salaries, wages, benefits, and deductions, which includes the tax computation, overtime pay, and gross and net incomes using appropriate technology. So the target of this lesson or the learning competency is for you, my dear learners, to be able to solve problems involving salaries, wages, benefits, and deductions, which includes the tax computation, overtime pay, and gross and net incomes using appropriate technology. So before anything else, let us differentiate first what is gross income and what is net income. So gross income, this is your total salary before anything is taken out. So kung ano po yung pinirmahan mo sa kontrata, yun po yung gross income mo. Okay, pero halimbawa, meron ka pang ibang allowances. Opo, so lahat po ng natanggap mo, so salary mo plus the allowance na binigay ni kumpanya, that is your gross income. Now, when we say the net income, this is your actual take-home pay. So ito po yung natitira kapag binawas na lahat ng deductions, including the mandatory and yung mga deductions dahil nga, for example, na late ka o kaya naman meron kang absences, or kaya naman may loan ka. Ngayon po, kung ilan na lang yung matira, doon po sa tinanggap mo kabuuan, magmula doon sa sahod mo at allowances mo, yung natira doon, yun po yung tinatawag nating net income or the net pay. Okay? So, ano naman po yung tinatawag nating deductions? Deductions are the amounts subtracted from gross pay by law or agreement. In the Philippines, the common deductions include, so first is the social security system. This is being deducted for your retirement. Opo, para po siya sa pension. So, saan siya binibigay? Sa mga or saan siya kinokolek? Sa private sector's employee. So, nakalagay dito, the SSS contribution, yung computation niya talaga is 5% sa employee and 10% sa employer. However, my dear students, meron po kasi tayong tinatawag na MPF and the regular, what we call this, regular contribution. So that's why the Social Security system has the table effective for January of 2025, which is this one. Okay? So actually, kung i-scroll nyo po siya or i-visit nyo itong circular number 2024-006, dito nyo po makikita na may iba-ibang contribution tables. Depende po sa employee profile. So, meron po ditong business employers and employees. Ito po yung mga ibibigay under the employer and employee. Okay, so yung total na makukuha dapat ni employee or yung total contribution niya, dito po makikita. Kung magkano po yung i-contribute na employee, dito sa total makikita. At kung ilan po yung total na i-contribute ni employer, dito naman po sa total under its column makikita. Okay, so aside from that, meron din po tayong household employers and the kasambahay or household employees. Okay, okay, so iba naman po yung rules nila kapag kasambahay. So meron din po tayo ditong mga self-employed member. So iba din po yung rules under self-employed. Ito po yung contribution table nila. And also, iba rin po doon sa mga voluntary and non-working spouse members. So, dito po sa voluntary, halimbawa, hindi ka naman required, pero dahil gusto mo mag-contribute at may kakayahan ka mag-contribute, pwede din naman po. Ito po yung contribution table nila. And also, meron din tayo para sa mga land-based overseas Filipino workers member. Ito din po yung contribution tables nila. So, if you want to have an access for this contribution table, please check the description box of this video po. So, kung makikita nyo, balik tayo doon po sa table ng business employers and employee, may makikita po tayo dyan na regular SSS and the MPF. Sige po, so dito muna tayo mag-focus sa regular SSS and MPF under the employee. contribution. So, ito pong regular SSS, my dear students, this is a pooled insurance fund managed by the SSS. So, ano yung mga kasama niya? Retirement, sickness, maternity, disability, funeral, pwede din po, at mga unemployment benefits. So, ito po yung mga contribution based sa salary up to 20,000 pesos. Okay? Ito po yun. That is actually 5%. Dahil po employee ka. Ngayon po, my dear students, yung MPF naman po, halimbawa, sumasahod ka ng nasa 35,000 pesos, sobra na sa 20. So, yung another 5% nun, yun po yung MPF. Okay po. So, kung makikita nyo dito, po dito sa part na ito, so, dito po, yung range niya is from 19,750 to 20,249.99, wherein kasama po dito yung range na 20,000 pesos. At kapag ikaw po ay nasa range na ganito, or sumasahod sa range ng 19,750 to 20,249.99, ang babayaran niyo po is bilog na 1,000 pesos. Wala pa pong MPF. Ngayon, para saan si MPF? Bakit po siya kasama kapag sobra na sa 20,000? So, si MPF, my dear students, kung ito po ay pooled, si regular SSS is pooled insurance fund. The MPF is the mandatory provident fund. So, this is a personal saving account under your SSS membership. So, ibig sabihin po, kapag nag-exceed na ng 20,000 pesos, yun pong kasobrahan dun sa 5% noong buong sahod mo. Ito po yung ilalagay ni SSS doon po sa account mo mismo personal. Na halimbawa po, kapag nag-retire kayo, gusto mo pong mag-withdraw ng lump sum, so pwede pong dito nila makuha. Okay, dito sa MPF. So that is the difference between the regular SSS versus the MPF. Pero parehas silang binabayaran mo kapag sumobra ka na sa 20,000 pesos na monthly salary. Okay, so I hope that is already clear. If there are questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. Okay, paano naman kapag si employee is a public or government employee? So, ito naman po, we use or yung agency naman under the government employees is the Government Service Insurance System or sa GSIS. So, parehas po sila ng trabaho ni SSS at ni GSIS. Parehas po silang for retirement in order for the worker to have pensions after he or she rendered his or her services during the retirement age of 60 at least. So, paano naman po kinocompute kung si Social Security System gumagamit po ng contribution table? Dito po si GSIS, ang ginagawa po natin, basic pay. Opo, when we say the basic pay, ito po class yung kung ano yung pinirmahan mo. Opo, so hindi siya gross income kasi po ang gross income, it is the salary plus the allowance. Gross income yon. Pero kapag sinabi po nating basic pay, ito po yung zero pa yung allowance. Kung ano lang po yung nakalagay sa kontrata mo, yun po, my dear students, yung tinatawag nating basic pay. Apo. So again, the basic pay, my dear students, ito po talaga yung salary mo na makikita mo sa kontrata mo. Pero halimbawa, meron kang allowance na tinakatanggap, so si basic pay plus the allowance, that is your gross income. Okay, so nakalagay dito the GSIS contribution for the employee share is 9% of his or her basic pay. Apo, so 9% yung kinukuha sa atin ng GSIS kapag tayo ay government employee. Ngayon, meron din pong inaambag si mga employers. Si employers naman, kung tayong mga manggagawa is 9%, si employer, ang kinocontribute niya po based sa basic pay natin is 12% of our basic pay. Okay, so again, 9% po kapag GSIS. Okay, so isa pa pong deduction is the Pag-ibig Fund. Dito sa Pag-ibig Fund, meron po tayong mga rules. So, para saan si Pag-ibig Fund? For housing siya, for calamities. Kaya nga, di ba, kapag halimbawa bagong bagyo, pwede na nga yung mag-calamity loan under the Pag-ibig Fund. So, si Pag-ibig po, my dear students, kumukuha lang siya or nagdideduct lang siya ng 1% sa mga manggagawa na kumikita ng 1,500 pababa. Okay? At most, 1,500, that is 1%. Pero halimbawa, mas mataas kay 1,500, 2% na po yung ibabawas ni Pag-ibig. Opo, so sa employer naman po, same. Opo, mapa less than 1,000 or more than 1,500, stick sa 2% si employer. However, may rule din po si Pag-ibig Fund na ang pinakamataas niya lang pong pwedeng singilin is 200 pesos as his or her contribution. Okay, so hindi na po doon lalagpas yung regular contribution under the Pag-ibig Fund. So actually dito sa Pag-ibig Fund, meron tayong the regular contribution and also the Pag-ibig MP2. Si Pag-ibig MP2 po, this is actually an investment based on dividends po. So I'll create a video for that on the later days na. Okay, so proceed na tayo. Basta po tatandaan natin yung mga rules. So po, basta Pag-ibig Fund, pinaka-maximum niya is 200 pesos. Kapag hindi pa po maabot sa 200 pesos, 2% of the monthly salary. Okay po? And also, meron din po tayong PhilHealth. Si PhilHealth naman po, para naman po siya sa ating mga karamdaman. So, ilan po yung deduction ni PhilHealth? That is 5% of our monthly salary shared between the employee and the employer. So, ibig sabihin, 5% of our basic salary divided by 2 tayo. Yun po yung computation ni PhilHealth. Ngayon, my dear students, rundown lang po tayo ng mga deductions natin. We have the SSS, that is for the contribution table. Makikita natin kung ilan po yung ibabawas sa atin using the contribution table under the SSS. Meron din po tayong GSIS, that is 9% for the employees. Okay, so also we have the Pag-ibig, maximum is 200 pesos, pero kapag at least 1,500, 2% of the basic pay. Okay? Pag PhilHealth naman po, 5% of the basic pay divided by 2 because it is shared by the employee and the employer. Okay? Pakakatandaan po, my dear students, na all of the deductions ay kailangan pong nakabase sa basic pay. Again, kinocompute po yung mga deduction natin based sa basic pay po. Opo. So, after pong mabawas natin lahat ng deductions natin, that is now the time we will compute for our withholding tax. So, di ba in our last video, we've discussed about the value-added tax. The value-added tax is the tax collected by the government because or in exchange of the goods and the service and because we bought something. That is the value-added tax. The withholding tax, my dear students, this is the tax being collected by the Philippine government because we are earning money. Opo. So, ito po yung tax na ibinabawas sa atin sa income. Value-added tax, binabawas sa atin sa pagbili natin ng mga products, okay, or pag-avail natin ng mga taxable na services. Okay, so paano naman natin ngayon malalaman yung tax natin? So the latest taxation law of the Philippines is the Train Law. And under the Train Law, may mga brackets po tayong sinusunod. So this is the revised withholding tax table effective noong 2023 pa up until now. Okay, so ang tinitignan lang naman natin dyan dito sa monthly. Okay, so for example, ikaw ay kumikita ng 20,833 pesos at mas mababa pa doon. Ibig sabihin, ano ang prescribed withholding tax mo? Wala kang babayarang tax. Okay, paano naman kapag 200 or 20,833 hanggang 33,332 pesos? Ilan ang babayaran mong tax? So, 15% ng sobra sa 20,833. Again, that is 15% sa kasobrahan ni 20,833. Okay, so ganun po natin i-interpret itong table na ito. Kapag yung sahod mo naman po is dito naglala yung bracket, so 20% ng kasobrahan sa 33,333 plus meron ka na ngayong karagdagan na 1,875. So, let us proceed. Aside from that, meron po tayong mga other deductions such as the tardiness and absences. So, meron din po tayong loans at meron din po tayong mga unions. Okay, so lahat yan makikita natin sa isang payslip. So, in order for us to visualize how we are being paid using a payslip. So let us create a payslip based on these problems. Okay, so for problem number one, Ella is a graphic designer who earns 120 per hour. In 1 month, she worked 160 regular hours and 4 hours of overtime. Overtime is paid at 125% her regular rate. Her monthly deductions include SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and the income tax. The income tax is the withholding tax po. For us to fully understand how deductions really work in a payslip, let us create a payslip for this given problem. So for problem number one, Ella is a graphic designer who earns 120 pesos per hour. In 1 month, she worked 160 regular hours and 4 hours of overtime. Overtime is paid at 125% of her regular rate. Her monthly deductions include SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and income tax. So let's start it with payslip as for the month of. So let's say that this is for August of the year 2025. So let's put the name also of the employee, which is in this example is Ella. Wala siyang apelyido. So let us have the basic pay. For the basic pay, or you can use basic income, you can use it interchangeably. So nakalagay dito that in 1 month, she worked 160 regular hours. So ibig sabihin po, ito po yung basic niya. So 160 regular hours. So since binabayaran siya kada oras ng 120, so let's multiply the 120 multiply natin by the regular work hours of 160. So that is equal to, so in our calculator, that is equal to 120 multiplied by 160, that is 19,200. So we can write this as 19,200. So that is for the basic pay. So aside from that, kumikita rin siya. So aside from that, kumikita din si Ella ng overtime pay, di ba po? So ilagay natin this is for overtime pay. So si overtime pay natin, still ang basis natin is si per oras na 120 kada oras. Pero imbis na i-multiply natin siya by 160, since we are referring now to the overtime, we will multiply it by the 4 hours of overtime. And also, since overtime to, ibig sabihin po, mas mataas siya kaysa po sa regular. So this has a multiplier of 1.25. So that is equal to, in our calculator, that is equal to, so we have 120 multiplied by 4 is equal to 480. So multiply din natin by the multiplier of 1.25. 1.25, bakit po nakalagay sa problem? 125% of her regular rate. So this is the regular rate. So ita times natin siya by the overtime, total overtime, multiplied also by the multiplier of 1.25. Because 1.25 is the decimal form of 125%. So that is equal to 600 pesos. Meaning to say, meron siyang 600 pesos for the overtime. So para po makuha yung gross income, ang ginagawa lang po natin dito is kailangan i-add natin lahat ng tinanggap niya. So in this case, ang i-add po natin 19,200 kay 600. So that is 19,800. So we can say that our gross pay is 19,800 pesos. Okay, so meron na tayong income. So kailangan i-compute na natin yung deductions natin. For the deductions, ang una nating pwedeng makompute is CSSS. So we have here deductions. So for the deductions, sabi natin, pwede nating makompute muna si SSS. Sabi natin, SSS, my dear students, is gumagamit tayo ng table, right? Table, my dear students, sabi natin, di ba, ang basis natin lagi ng computation po is the basic pay lang. Opo, so hindi na natin isasama si overtime. So si basic pay natin dito is 19,200. So saan po siya makikita dito sa range na ito? From 18,750 to 19,249.99. So that is for the employee. So that is 950 pesos. So for the SSS contributions, she will pay or Ella will pay the amount of 950 pesos. So aside from that, ano pa pong meron siya, pwede natin i-compute si PhilHealth, which is 5%, my dear students, of the basic pay divided by 2. Bakit divided by 2? Di ba pinaghahatian siya ni employee and the employer. So that is 19,200 multiplied natin by 0.05 at dahil pinaghahatian siya ng employer and the employee, we need to divide that by 2. So that is 480 pesos. So meaning to say, for the PhilHealth, she will pay 480 pesos. Okay, aside from that, ano pa yung binabayaran natin? Nagbabayad din tayo ng pag-ibig. So, under pag-ibig, sabi natin, that is also 2%. Okay? So, 2% tayo of the monthly is 19,200. Multiply natin by 0.02. The answer is 384. However, under pag-ibig, meron po tayong rule na kapag sumobra na po sa 200, ang maximum lang pong babayaran ni employee is 200 pesos. So, that's why we will write under the pag-ibig, the 200 pesos and nothing more. Okay, so meron na tayong SS, meron na tayong PhilHealth, may pag-ibig na tayo. Ano pang kulang? The withholding tax. So for the withholding tax, ang gagawin po muna natin is we need to get the initial deduction. So hindi po pwede natataksan din kasama yung mga dati nang na alis sa atin na deductions kasi po under the law, bawal po yung double jeopardy. So kung deduction na nga sa as PhilHealth and pag-ibig, magiging basis pa siya of the taxation. So parang dalawang beses siyang dinidaktan which is unfair in the part of the employee. Kaya pang gagawin po natin, and that is also mandated by the law, hindi po natin isinasama sa computation ng taxation si deductions. So we need to first add up the SSS, the PhilHealth, and the Pag-ibig. 950 plus the 480 plus the 200 is 1,660. So meaning to say, ito po my dear students, yung ibabawas natin kay 19,200. So ibawas po natin kay 19,200. So 19,200. So minus tayo the answer. Opo, kasi na-memorize naman na yan ni calculator natin. So that is 17,570. So my dear students, kailangan nating ilagay dito sa gilid. We need to write it as the basis. Basis for the withholding tax. So that is equal to 17,570 pesos. So my dear students, on our tables, if you can still remember, kapag mas mababa po kay 20,830, so let's visit the table. So, under this table, di ba, nakalagay po na kapag mas mababa pa po kay 20,833 pesos, wala po tayong prescribed withholding tax. Kasi po, pinaperceive siya ni government as minimum wage po. Ibig sabihin po, maliit lang yung sinasahod at dahil po ang government is actually pro-poor, so ibig sabihin, hindi po tayo nagtatax sa mga mabababa yung sahod. The tax of ELA is actually 0. Okay, so meron na tayong SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and withholding. We can now compute for the total. Deductions. So for the total deductions, add lang po natin. So we have 950 pesos plus 480 pesos plus the 200 pesos. So that is equal to 1,630. Meaning to say the total deductions of ELA is 1,630 pesos. Okay, so ngayon po meron na tayong deductions. Kaya na nating makalculate, my dear students, yung tinatawag nating net pay. And the net pay, my dear students, according to our discussions a while ago, is the gross income minus the total deductions. So that is equal to, so we have the 19,800 minus tayo by 1,630 pesos. So that is equal to 18,170. So meaning to say, Ella has a take-home income of, or the take-home pay or the net pay of 18,170 pesos. And this, my dear students, is the pay slip for Ella. Okay, are there still questions? If there are questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. So for problem number 2, Mara is a freelance graphic designer who earns 150 pesos per hour for regular work. In 1 month, she worked 160 regular hours and 8 hours of overtime. Overtime is paid at 125% of her regular hourly rate. In addition to her pay, she receives a monthly taxable allowance of 1,500. So in order for us to determine how much will Mara take home, so let's create a payslip for Mara. So we can start this as payslip as for the month of, so let's assume that this is for the month of August of 2025. So the name of our employee here is Mara. So we can now calculate for the basic pay. So arawan po siyang binabayaran, kailangan i-determine natin kung magkano po yung kada month niya. So we need to multiply the hourly rate of 150, multiply natin by the 160. So we have 150 multiplied by 160, that is 24,000 pesos. So meaning to say, the basic pay of Mara is 24,000 pesos. Okay, so meron tayong basic pay, meron din po tayong overtime pay dahil si Mara ay masipag. So for the overtime pay, same lang naman po po na 150. Pero this time, imumultiply natin siya sa kung ilang oras siya nag-overtime. So in this problem, that is 8 hours. At dahil overtime ito, kailangan may multiplier tayo. So we have 1.25 as the multiplier. Okay, in our calculator, that is equal to 150. Multiply din natin by 1.25. So that is equal to 1,500. Meaning to say, the overtime pay of Mara is 1,500 pesos. So aside from that, ano pa po yung mga nare-receive ni Mara? So meron siyang allowance, 'di ba? So this allowance is actually taxable. Kaya ilagay natin na taxable siya. So for the taxable allowance, walang computation, nakalagay lang po na that is 1,500. So meaning to say, my dear students, meron na tayong basic pay, may overtime na may allowance. We can now get Mara's gross income. So for the gross income, kailangan lang po natin na i-add lahat. Okay, so we have the gross income. 24,000 pesos plus the 1,500 of the overtime plus the 1,500 also of the taxable allowance. So that will give us 27,000 pesos. So meaning to say the gross income of Mara kapag wala pang deduction is 27,000 pesos. Okay, so meron na tayong gross income. We can now calculate the deduction. So for the deduction, identify po muna natin. For the deduction, let us identify if Mara is a private employee or kaya naman public employee. So in this case, Mara is a freelance graphic designer. So pag freelance ka po, ibig sabihin po, you can be employed in different companies all at once. So in this case, kasi po meron tayong batas under the civil service law na kapag ikaw po ay isang kawani ng gobyerno, bawal ka po magkaroon ng ibang um, bawal ka pong magkaroon ng ibang trabaho kundi yun lang pong trabaho mo kasi po we cannot serve two masters. Okay? So kailangan po isa lang po yung tinatrabaho. So we have here the SSS since alam natin na siya ay isang private employee. So under the SSS, sabi natin, di ba, meron tayong table. So that's why we need to visit our table. So ang basis po, my dear students, ng ating deductions is always the basic pay. And the basic pay natin kanina is 24,000 pesos, which is in between 23,750 to 24,249.99. So the deduction for that under the SSS is 1,200 pesos. For the SSS, will deduct 1,200 pesos only. Okay, so aside from that, meron din po tayong PhilHealth. Under the PhilHealth, sabi po natin that is 5% of our basic pay. So what is the 5% of our basic pay? So that is 1,200. Pero di ba sabi natin the PhilHealth is divided by the employee and the employer. So divide natin ito by 2. So that is 600 lang. So we have 600 pesos. And also, meron din po tayong pag-ibig. The pag-ibig po, di ba, my dear students, is how much? So, yung pag-ibig natin is actually 2% of the basic pay. So, we have 24,000 pesos multiplied by that 0.02, that is 480. Since the 480, my dear students, is greater than the 200 pesos, we need to stick with the maximum contribution of 200 pesos. So, meaning to say po, the pag-ibig is only 200 pesos. Okay, so aside from that, meron din tayong withholding tax. So for the withholding tax, ang ginagawa po natin is first, we need to subtract all of the initial deductions kasi po bawal pong double jeopardy. So ibig sabihin we have 1,200 plus the 600 plus the 200. So that will give us 2,000 pesos. Minus po natin siya, my dear students, doon sa total na taxable. So in this case po, di ba, ang taxable dito is the basic pay and the allowance. Si overtime, my dear students, hindi yan taxable. So we have 24,000 pesos. So we have 24,000 pesos plus natin the 1,500 pesos. So that is 25,500 pesos. I-minus natin siya doon po sa initial nating deduction. So minus tayo by the 2,000 pesos. So ibig sabihin po, yung basis natin of our deductions or our withholding tax, the basis of the withholding tax is equal to 23,500. So in this table, si 23,500 is in the bracket of 20,833 to 33,332 pesos. So nakalagay dito na that is, yung prescribed niya is 0 plus the 15% nung kasobrahan sa 20,833 pesos. So sabi natin that is 0. So since 0 lang naman siya, hindi ko na po siya isusulat. 0 tayo plus the 15% ng kasobrahan sa 20,833. Okay, so bakit po yung kasobrahan lang kay 23,500? Dahil po, my dear students, si 20,833 is 0 yung prescribed tax niya. So we have here 23,500 minus the 20,833 pesos. So in our calculator, that is 0.15. I-multiply daw po natin kay, so if this is 23,500 na, let us subtract it by the 20,833. So that is 2,667. So that is equal to 2,667 pesos. So, multiply natin siya by the 15%. So, in our calculator, what is the 15% of it? So, that is equal to 400.05 pesos. So, meaning to say po, ang kailangang bayaran ni Mara na withholding tax is 400.05. Okay, so now meron na po tayong SSS, may PhilHealth, may Pag-ibig, may withholding tax. Pwede na po nating mai-compute si total deductions. Lang po nating i-add lahat ng deductions ni Mara. So that is 1,200 plus the 600 plus the 200 plus the 400.05. That is equal to 2,400.05. So meaning to say po, the total deduction of Mara is 2,400.05. So, meron na tayong total deductions, meron na din po tayong gross income. We can now actually compute for our net income. So, for our net income, that is only the gross income minus the total deduction. So, we have here the net income. So, for the net income, that is 27 pesos. 27,000 pesos minus the answer. So that is equal to 24,599.95. So the net income of Mara is 24,599.95 pesos. And that, my dear students, is the take-home pay of Mara. Okay, if there are still questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. So this time, for this problem number 3, so this is problem number 3, I want you to pause this video and please answer this on your own. So Mr. De La Cruz, a government employee in the Philippines, each month he earns a gross salary of 65,800 pesos and receives an additional non-taxable allowance of 2,000 pesos. However, deductions such as the taxes, mandatory contributions, and the monthly GSIS loan payment of 4,500 are subtracted from his pay. Create Mr. De La Cruz monthly payslip showing his gross income, deductions, and net pay. So, I hope po nakapag-pause na at I hope po na-try na rin itong problem na ito. So, we write here the payslip as for the month of. So, August pa rin kasi August ngayon. Opo, pero pag nakalagay sa problem kung ano yung date, I mean the month na pinapakompute, you write it, okay? So, yung employee natin ngayon is Mr. De La Cruz. So, si Mr. De La Cruz, ano yung mga meron or natatanggap niya? So, meron siyang gross salary. Actually, nakalagay dito gross salary. That is wrong ha. Basic dapat ito. Basic salary siya kasi hindi pa naman kasama si non-taxable allowance. So, we have here the basic salary. So, dito po wala tayong computation na dapat gawin. Bakit po walang computation? Kasi hindi naman po siya per oras eh. Monthly din siyang binabayaran. So, we have the monthly salary of 65,800 pesos. Okay, so aside from dun, ano pa yung meron siya? Meron siyang non-taxable allowance. Opo. So, we have here allowance and this is non-taxable. So, ilan nga po yun? That is 2,000 pesos. So, since meron na tayong basic salary, may allowance siya, ano pa yung mga natatanggap niya? So, wala na. Okay, so this time, kailangan i-add na natin itong 65,800 kay 2,000 pesos. Okay, so that is equal to 65,800 plus 2,000 pesos. That is 67,800. So, meaning to say po, the total here, meaning to say po, the gross income dito is equal to 67,800 pesos. Okay, so yun lamang po yung sa gross niya. Okay, so meron na tayong basic salary, may allowance na tayo. So pwede na tayo mag-compute ng kanyang deductions. So for the deduction, ano po my dear students yung insurance niya? Is it the SSS or the GSIS? This time, si Mr. De La Cruz ay government employee. Siya ay required na magbayad ng GSIS. At sabi natin sa GSIS, ilan po ang rate? That is 9% for the employee. Okay, alin dito sa dalawa yung pagbibisan natin, my dear students? Is it the basic salary or the gross income? That is the basic salary pa rin. Again, papakakatandaan, lahat ng deduction, ang basis po is the basic salary. So we have here 65,800 multiply tayo by 0.09. That is equal to 5,922 pesos. So that is 5,922 pesos. Ang laki ng GSIS niya. So, meron na tayong GSIS. So, i-compute naman natin dito yung pag-ibig natin. So, for the pag-ibig, sabi natin that is 2% of 65,800. Pero 'di ba, meron tayong rules na kapag po lumampas na sa 200, 200 lang po yung babayaran. So, for the pag-ibig, 1,316 ang 2%. Pero dahil nga po si pag-ibig, ang meron po siyang maximum of 200 pesos. So, ibig sabihin po, 200 pesos lang ang kanyang i-contribute. And so meron na tayong GSIS, meron na pag-ibig. So this time, PhilHealth na tayo. So for the PhilHealth, my dear students, ano po yung rate natin? That is 0.05. Pero hatian pa siya ni employee and the employer. So that is 65,800. Multiply natin by 0.05. So that is 3,290. So divide natin siya, my dear students, by 2. Kasi po hatian ni employer and the employee. So that is only 1,645. So under PhilHealth, that is 1,645 pesos. Okay, so now, meron na tayong GSIS, meron tayong pag-ibig, may PhilHealth. Ano pang kulang? We have here the withholding tax. So, si withholding tax, kailangan po malaman po muna natin yung magiging basis natin. Okay, so paano nga natin yun kinocompute? I-add po muna natin itong mga nauuna. So that is 5,922 plus the 200 plus the 1,645, that is 7,767. Ngayon, i-minus natin siya, my dear students, saan? So isulat po natin the basis. So, sulat muna natin dito the initial deduction. Is equal to 7,767 pesos. So, siya po, my dear students, si initial deduction. Ngayon, si initial deduction, my dear students, kailangan i-deduct natin siya saan? Is it the basic salary or the gross income? So, doon sa problem number 2 kanina, ang ginamit natin is the gross income because the allowance there is taxable. This time, non-taxable siya. Ibig sabihin, buong makukuha ni Mr. De La Cruz yung 2,000 pesos of allowance. Kaya, ang basis natin, opo, ng taxation is this one, the 65,800. Pero, ibawas na natin yun doon sa initial deduction kasi hindi pwede na yung deduction nga is actually mandatory deduction na siya, dideductan pa natin yun. Opo, so double jeopardy na naman siya. So, ang gagawin natin, i-minus natin si 65,800 para makuha natin yung basis of deduction natin. So, si basis natin of the withholding tax, isubtract natin dito po from 65,800. Minus natin the answer. So, that is 58,033. So, that is the basis of our withholding tax. So, we have here the basis of withholding tax is equal to 58,033 pesos. Okay, under the train law, under the monthly payment po. So, under the monthly salary, saan siya naka-range? So, di ba po, nandito siya sa range na 33,333 hanggang 600 or 66,666. And nakalagay dito na that is equal to 1,875 plus 20% of over 33,330. So, ibig sabihin po, kailangan, dahil kasobrahan lang naman yung kailangan natin dito sa 20%, ibig sabihin po, i-minus natin siya by 33,333. And that is equal to 24,700. For the withholding tax, para ma-compute natin siya, nakalagay dun, di ba, withholding. Nakalagay dun na that is 1,875. So, plus tayo by the 20% is na yung na-compute natin na difference. So, that is 24,700 pesos. So, ang uunahin natin is a parenthesis, kaya po copy lang natin ito. So, what is the 20%? So, what is 20% of 24,700? So, that is 0.02 or 0.20. That is 4,940. So, ibig sabihin po, add natin by 4,940 pesos. So, kapag pinag-add natin yan in our calculator, 4,940 plus yung constant natin na 1,875, doon po, my dear students, sa table, opo, nakalagay ito sa table. So, plus tayo by 1,875, that is equal to 6,800. So, that is equal to 6,815. That, my dear students, is the tax. 6,815 pesos. So this, my dear students, is the withholding tax of Mr. De La Cruz. Okay, so ilagay natin dito, the withholding tax of Mr. De La Cruz is 6,815.00. So now, meron na tayong GSIS, may pag-ibig, may PhilHealth, may withholding. Ano pang kulang? Dito po sa problem, meron siyang loan. Kaya ilagay natin GSIS loan. So the GSIS loan is nagkakahalaga ng 4,500 pesos. So now, meron na tayong GSIS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, and the withholding tax. So this time, kailangan na po natin and also the GSIS loan. So pwede na nating ma-compute si total natin, the total deduction. So for the total deduction, i-add lang po natin lahat-lahat. Okay, so we have here si 5,922 plus 5,922 plus the 200 pesos plus 1,645 plus the 6,815 plus the 4,500. So that is equal to 19,082 pesos. Yun po yung total deductions niya. So the total deduction is 19,082 pesos. Okay, so meron na tayong total deduction, meron na din tayong gross income. Let us now get the net income. So in order for us to get the net income, ano yung ginagawa natin? Gross income minus the total deduction. So we have here the net income is equal to, so yun pong ano natin, the gross income is 67,800 pesos. So si 67,800 pesos minus the answer, that is equal to 48,718 pesos. So, ibig sabihin po, yung iti-take home lang ni Sir or ni Mr. De La Cruz is only 48,718 pesos. That is his take-home pay. So, my dear students, actually, meron tayo ditong automated calculator, and that is the Sweldong Pinoy. I-try nating i-check yung answer natin kay Mr. De La Cruz. So, Mr. De La Cruz is a government employee. Sumasahod siya ng monthly. Ang basic pay niya po, according to that problem, is magkano po? 65,800 pesos. So, meron siyang non-taxable allowance of 2,000 pesos. So, wala naman siyang overtime. So, sige po, let us compute. So, kung makikita niyo po, the same yung values natin kay GSIS, kay PhilHealth contribution, and kay Pag-ibig contribution. So, nagkatalo lang tayo dito kay withholding tax. Kasi po, doon sa computation natin, that is 6,815. Pero dito, that is 6,814.93. Actually, kapag in-round off naman, that is 6,815 pesos naman. So, nagkatalo-talo lang yun kasi my dear students, doon sa pag-round off natin, kasi di ba nag-round off tayo doon sa mga percent-percent. So, actually, yung pag-divide pa nun, kasi my dear students, ang tax talaga is kinocompute in terms of annual. So, dinivide pa yun. Opo. Kaya, yung meron tayo, di ba, doon na result na 33,333. So actually, may point something pa yon. Pero in-round off na lang siya to the nearest whole number. So dahil po yun doon. And aside from that, kaya dito naging 53 at doon sa answer natin, that is only 48 dahil hindi po dito nakalagay yung GSIS loan. Kasama po yun sa deductions. Opo. So kapag i-minus nyo ito, my dear students, so try nating i-minus. So, itry natin i-minus si 53,218.07 minus natin by 4,500. So, same din naman. Opo, na 4,800 or 48,718 din naman yung makukuha ni Mr. De La Cruz. Okay, so that's it for today, my dear students. If you still have questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye po!